Hi, this is Dr. Joe Mazey of Body Logic MD of Chicago. I want to talk a little bit about toxins and detoxification. Unfortunately, we live in an environment that is just being inundated with more and more chemicals and toxins every day. And unfortunately, we are absorbing these into our body and it's affecting our health. Now, the good news is our body does have mechanisms in place to naturally process and get rid of toxins. Unfortunately, we're being exposed to so many toxins that often we overload these systems that are put in place to detoxify us, and we're unable to get rid of the toxins that enter our body. And what happens is, instead of getting rid of them, we just end up storing them. And they start interfering with our metabolism, they interfere with how our cells communicate, they interfere with our immune system and how we produce energy. And this load of toxins and this interference with how our body functions will manifest in a variety of symptoms. It could affect your mood, your thinking. You could have skin symptoms. You could have just general fatigue. Your immune system could be down and you could be more easily susceptible to infections. There's just a host of different symptoms that could be attributed to toxins. So what's really important is to be aware of this. And I like to talk to my patients about toxic exposures and really dive into some of their symptoms and find out if it's possible that their inability to process toxins or their overexposures to toxins is starting to affect their health. What detoxification is a process that I have a lot of my patients go through to help regenerate their ability to process toxins and get rid of them, and also in the process, teach them how to minimize their toxic exposure and try to recapture and maintain their health. Now, I hear a lot from my patients, oh, I've already gone through a detox, and they'll tell me about some, crazy colon cleanse they went through, or some diet they went on that was maybe just water, lemon juice, and maple syrup. These are some of the things I hear, but, detoxification doesn't just include, cleaning the colon out. The way our body naturally detoxifies is, first, it will process any toxins that enter our body through our liver. And our liver, in a two-phase process, will chemically alter and then chemically package toxins so they can be eliminated from the body. And it does this through a series of enzymes. What enzymes are basically chemicals our body produces that facilitate different chemical reactions to take place. So there are enzymes in our body that are produced specifically for the task of processing and eliminating toxins. As I said before, we are exposed to so many toxins that sometimes we've worn out our liver's ability to process toxins, and we've also depleted the enzymes that are meant to facilitate this process. So one step of detoxification is to facilitate the enzymes in the liver to do their job. And this requires taking supplements that include certain vitamins and also certain phytonutrients, which are basically chemicals that come from a variety of different plants. And these chemicals help facilitate the process the liver uses to get rid of toxins. Now, that's why it's so important to eat a lot of vegetables in your diet, because they're very important for detoxification. The other step of detoxification is to minimize the amount of toxins you put into your body. If you just take supplements, but you're still exposing yourself to a lot of different toxins, well, that isn't going to work very well. So when I place patients on a detox program, one of the main things I do is I set up a diet for them. Now, I don't believe in starving yourself for a detox. You need to have calories, because detoxification and all the chemical reactions that go along with it requires energy, and it requires calories to do this. So I never limit the amount of calories that a patient is taking in during a detoxification, but I do limit the types of food that they eat. We want to minimize the impact on our body. So first of all, you have to eliminate all the garbage. You can't have any processed foods with preservatives, artificial colors, artificial flavors, anything packaged you want to eliminate. And then as we go along in the process, I usually put patients on a 10-day detox. As you go along in the process, you want to eliminate foods that have a high potential to stimulate maybe a sensitivity or allergic reaction. So some of the most common foods that do that are gluten, dairy, corn, a lot of the grains. So gradually I eliminate those from the diet. And there's a part of a detox diet where you're primarily eating just vegetables and certain fruits. So it's not. It sounds like you would never get through that, but it's not as difficult as it seems. But while you're doing this elimination diet, you're also taking supplements that offer some protein and also the vitamins and different nutrients you need to facilitate the liver's ability to detoxify. Now, how long of a detox program is right for you depends on how severe your symptoms are, how severe your toxic load is. I usually put people on a 10-day detox program, but there's times I've had to put people on 30-day detox programs and even a little longer, depending on what their symptoms were and how they were responding. One other thing that goes along with detox, you got the diet and you have these supplements, but you also want to minimize your exposure to other chemicals. There's household chemicals that we use for cleaning and killing bugs and treating our garden. You have to really search for chemicals that may work that are more organic or natural, and limit your exposure to those types of chemicals. You also want to take note of what you're being exposed to at work and try to minimize those exposures also. Sometimes there's some hidden toxic exposures in your house or at work, such as mold in the woodwork, or certain animals may be inducing allergic reactions. I'm not telling you to get rid of any family pets, but you just want to be aware of where these toxic exposures could be. So one thing I'm going to do over the next 10 days, I myself am going to go through a detox. It's something I like to do once or twice a year. So I'm just going to keep a video log of this process so you could see how it goes, and you'll see that it's not such a difficult thing to do, and it could be a real value to your health.